Hello! Welcome to Nosh with Nish. So, first I'm going to cook a sort of lentil, well these are split chickpeas, so you know the chickpeas that you get in a tin? Well these are the actual dried version with the husk taken off, where you can see a little bit of husk there, and put in half. So these are dried, so these need to be soaked first, which is what I've done over here. They've been soaking for a couple of hours, and the longer you can soak them, just in water, the better. You'll need to wash them out a couple of times because the starch comes off. You can see it in the water over there. So I talked about the split chickpeas, but there are other lentils that you can use. These are red lentils, split lentils. These cook much quicker. We've also got, you got split mung beans, which are quite good. So actually, if you go up here, that's the mung bean as a whole, so it has this green husk, so you can cook it like that. Or you can get the split ones, so this is actually what's inside there. So the recipe I'll show you is one that you can use pretty much any type of lentil. But to be fair, you could use, you could put meat in there if you wanted. Chickpeas, cans of chickpeas, any types of beans, any types of pulse. I'm going to show you like a basic, base. Then you put stuff in it and then you can, go wild. For the split chickpea curry, you'll need 1 cup of split chickpeas, 1 diced onion, a can of tomatoes, either plum or chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, finely diced, 2 fresh chilies, you can use less if you like it less spicy, water, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, salt you need about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon, turmeric 1 teaspoon, red chili powder, again 1 teaspoon, garam masala 1 teaspoon, and a glug of sunflower oil to start. Put that back pan on a fairly low heat. It's been warming up for a minute or so, and I'm going to take just a small spoon of the mustard seeds that we showed you earlier. I'm just going to put that dry into the pan, just to toast them up a bit. And what are the lentils? I might put some of the cumin seeds I talked about earlier. So just a sprinkle of those in there just to toast up. I think that's it for the lentil dish. Okay, so in the lentils you've had the mustard seeds and the cumin seeds just like dry warming up, and you can probably smell them coming through now. So I'm adding oil. Be generous with the oil, you want it to cover the whole bottom of the pan, and we're just going to let that warm up. There. What you put in at the start was the mustard seeds and cumin seeds. You dry toasted them for a few seconds, then you added some sunflower oil and you've let that heat up. I put the pan on a low heat, trying to heat up that oil so I don't want it to burn. See if the onion, if it's ready. Not quite ready yet, so we're going to give that a little bit more time. Okay, so I've been told to stress how important getting the onions is, right? So really take the time. That is going to take the most time in this whole process, getting the onions to brown but not be black. And it's a bit like they spend forever white, and then they go brown, black. So try and hit them when they're that sort of caramelized brown colour. The onions that I put in there are bubbling, so we're going to add more onions in there. Again, I'm using a mix of red and white. I'd normally just use white, run out, doesn't matter. Other things you can add, if you don't have onions, you can use leeks. You could use celery, but they will have a different taste, but it'll still be really nice. The thing with lentils is it becomes more like a soup anyway, so any veg that you add is great. Just going to mix that up. There you go, covering it in oil, and I'm going to add a lid to that. Just don't forget about the onions, you don't want to burn them. Okay, so we're on the lentil one. This one as well has been cooking. Onions have been cooking right down. They've got a lovely brown colour. The oil is popping. What we're going to do here, we're going to add our fresh garlic, our fresh chilli in there. Again, to taste, I guess, you know, if you want it more chilli, put in 2. If you don't want it too hot, add in 1. We're going to also add in our dry spices here. So, again, like, what's this? Half a teaspoon turmeric. Again, depending on how hot you want it, half or a full teaspoon of red chili powder. About the same of garam masala. And a good old spoon of table salt. Get it in there, get them all cooking up nicely together. You can smell those spices blending with the onions. I'm going to let that cook for a couple of minutes with the lid on. Okay, so in the lentil one, we've added the chilies, we added the dry spice. It's cooked together quite nicely. The garlic's still a bit raw, but it's fine. So I'm going to add half a tin of chopped tomatoes. Could be plum tomatoes, no issue. And also, if you make sure you put water in the can, swill it out, make sure you get all those bits. You want water for this one as well because you're going to cook the chickpeas in it. So you can see the colour from the turmeric coming through. So we're going to leave that to cook. At least the tomatoes and onions are going to absorb and work together. And I'll let you know when that's ready to add the lentils. Okay, so we're on the split chickpea one, and as you can see, the onions, the tomatoes are cooked down really well. I did put a little bit of extra water in here so that the tomato isn't going to do the same as the Rogan Josh and split so well, but I'm pretty convinced that the tomatoes and the onions are cooked well. You can tell that they're like amalgamated really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain my chickpeas. I've given them a wash, so drain them like what, 3-4 times. This is where I should have the tea towel on my shoulder. And what I'm going to do is add them in. So again, this is very similar to how I've done the lamb Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh. I'll move in a minute, you can see in a second. And now you're going to let the chickpeas, these are going to take what, a good couple of hours to cook properly. I mean, if you soak them overnight, even better, because they'll be softer when they get to this point. But you're just going to let them cook, that's it. Just keep cooking, keep adding water as it dries out. That's your lentils. Okay, so in the lentil one you can see it's really sort of started soaking up those, soaking up the water. Yeah, so you can see less water, so what I'm going to do, just add some more boiling water, and again, just leave it, let it cook, let it cook. Let it do its thing. So, I showed you how to make the split chickpea curry. We got to the point where you were adding water. Yes, I do have different facial hair and different clothes because this is a different day. But I'm just going to tell you how to finish off that dish. So you were adding water, put the lid back on, let the water cook with the lentils till the lentils soak up the water. Then add a little bit more water, again let it cook down. what those lentils are going to do, they're going to suck in that water and they're going to become softer. Keep cooking it through. Keep checking on how hard the lentils are. If you want it more nutty, then once you've got the lentils soft but with a bite, you can turn it off and that's ready to go. If you prefer to have it even softer, just keep adding water and cooking until the water's disappeared and you'll get a different consistency of lentil. Really nice way to finish it off is if you've got some fresh coriander, give it a good old chop and sprinkle over the top, let it cook in, and then when you serve as well, if you've got a little bit of coriander left, just garnish with coriander, adds a nice little bit of colour too. One more thing to check would be salt, so just make sure you've got enough salt in it. Again though, you can add that at the table to taste, so that depends on you. That's the split chickpea curry. Enjoy guys! So thank you for watching Nosh with Nish. It'd be really great to get some feedback. So let me know how the dishes worked for you, if they were tasty. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact me, you've got my details. And if there's any other dishes that you think, oh, I'd quite like to know how to cook that, why don't you drop me a line, find out if I know how to do it. If not, I'll work it out and maybe we can make another video based on requests. So yeah, let me know how it goes and take care everyone.